Recently, my extension wing on the table saw at the cabinet shop has been getting into pretty rough shape. And because of that, it makes it hard to run material over and make nice straight cuts. And because I run so much material over, it's about time I update it. So in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to add an extension wing to your table saw. Because not every table saw is made equally, I'm gonna show you 3 different ways. One is gonna be with an extension base. The second method will be using the pre-drilled holes that some table saws come with. And the third and final method, we're gonna make an extension wing that sits in snug and clamps in place. So no fasteners required. When it comes to the material that you should be using for an outfeed table or an extension wing, you always want to go with like MDF or a melamine material. And it just so happens that I have this scrap piece of melamine laying around, and we're going to be using it for the main cabinet shop saw. We won't just be cutting this melamine to fit the exact space that's offered on my extension wing. We're actually going to rip some strips of poplar for the edges as well. You may be asking yourself, why are you ripping up material to put on the edges? That's because melamine is real chippy. So what we're gonna do is take solid wood, reinforce the edges. That way when material flows over it, rolls off of it, or lands on it, it will absorb the impact, not the melamine. What's really good about the Grizzly table saw is that you can buy an outfeed extension here. And a lot of table saws you can, some you can't. For this one, we're just gonna be installing a tabletop onto this extension. I'm putting a strip on the front and on the back of this piece of melamine because material will be coming over and onto the table saw from the front and falling and rolling off of the back. So it'll make contact in 2 different spots. And sometimes these sheets of plywood are heavy, so they can inflict some damage. You've seen me do this a lot recently, but we always go with the flesh trim bit on surfaces like this. We want to make sure that it's nice, flat, and square, especially on something that's supposed to be a tabletop. After that, all that's left to do to prepare this material is to roll over those edges because, like I said, material will be rolling on and off. So I'm just going to pre-break down those edges so that the plywood doesn't have to. When it comes to this table saw that I'm working with, it has an extension wing base attached to it, and I'm just using an offcut of this melamine to level out the section that's going to be closest to the cast iron top. A ratchet set would obviously be better for this job, but I like to make things difficult, so pliers it is. Okay, so the tabletop fits. Everything is good. Now we have to micro adjust and make sure that everything can run flat and smooth across it and not chip it all up and destroy it in a week. After setting the tabletop in and seeing that it fits, it's time to micro adjust, which means beating the tabletop down with your hand. After that, I bolted the braces in place, clamped that tabletop down so it wouldn't move at all, pre-drilled holes on the underside, and then I drove screws up and through them into that tabletop to make sure it wouldn't go anywhere. This is one of those jobs that's really easy, but you put it off for a long time because you have work that you need to be getting done. Well, sometimes maintenance is the work that we need to be getting done. Let's prioritize that. The last thing we're gonna do is wax the entire surface because it's been a while since I've done this with my table saw. And since we're putting in effort, we might as well go all the way. The melamine probably doesn't need it that much because it's not a very porous material. It's kind of plasticky, but it'll make material slide across it really fast and smooth, so I'll appreciate that. All right, so check it out. Here it is, all working nicely and beautifully. I think I did a really good job of calibrating it, so now it's time to test out material gliding across it. Alright, so I know what you're thinking. I've got a cheap $500 table saw. I don't have a fancy $2,000 Grizzly setup that has a cabinet saw and an extension wing and an outfeed table and blah, 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 blah. I get it. I understand. That's what I have at my house. So I'm going to show you how to put an extension wing on that bad boy. As you can see, these guys come with like a 12-inch extension wing that's already attached, but there's obviously room for improvement, and I have no idea why, but they didn't include a wing that fills the entire space. You may remember some of these clips from the inserting a router table into my table saw video, because I actually replaced this extension wing a long time ago. It's basically the same concept as the first table saw. You're gonna measure your space and your opening, but because I did this a couple of years ago, I just fit a sheet of melamine right down in that space. I didn't have the solid wood to protect my edges, but because this is my home table saw, it doesn't get as much use as my work table saw, so I'm okay with that. What makes this table different is that I had to add runners underneath the bottom side of it, and those are just so that whenever we slip it in, we could take the screws that were already in the C-channel and angle iron and run them through our braces back into that so that we could secure it in place. If you do have a table saw that is not so large, this is a great upgrade that you can make that'll make it feel like you can do a little bit more. And if you're interested, I'll add a link for that video where I added the router table into this section of the table saw so I could do even more with this tool setup. Finally, this last tabletop is going to be a hybrid of the last two. We're going to take a nice piece of material, add nice edges to it so that material can roll over those edges, but it's not going to sit on a table like the first one. And although it is attaching to the angle iron and C-channel, it's not going to do it the same way it did it with the second one. Same as that first tabletop, we're just nailing on that trim. Because this is walnut, obviously we have to make it look like the most beautiful extension wing that the world has ever seen. So we're gonna wax it as well, all sides, all edges. This is obviously definitely unnecessary, but we're getting it done. As you can see, pushing 1/4 inch material specifically through this table saw in the past was really difficult because as you come across any greater than about 20 inches, it just falls into that open space there and pinches on the blade. I made it so it's nice and snug, so it kind of has a friction fit. And then we're gonna use these tiny C-clamps to clamp it to the underside of that cast iron tabletop and to the angle iron that's all the way around, and all the metal pieces that make up the frame. That is saw number 3. No screws required, no bolts, no cutting into your C-channels, just nice level extension wing clamped on in place, and it's walnut, so it's absolutely beautiful. What's good about this guy is that it's a temporary fix, and so if you ever need to take it out for some reason, which some people have said they would like to do, you can do that. As you can see now with this extension wing, we can cut smoother, flatter, and in general, wider material. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully one of these 3 extension wing table saw extensions for your table saw was helpful to you. If you have any questions on how to do it for your specific saw, put them in the comment section. Maybe I can help you out. We can get it figured out for you so you can start cutting bigger, longer, and wider.